Legend of California Alpha is upon us, and a lot of people are wondering, is this more of a PvE game? Is this more of a PvP game? Let's be real here. The problem is always that when a new survival game is coming out, people will fight over what this game is. Is it more for PvE players? Is it more for PvP player? And unfortunately, those two camps never seem to agree on a lot of things when it comes to survival games because they want something completely different out of it. And that's very unfortunate. But the reality is, with The Legend of California, and they have said this now multiple times in their live streams and in other interviews, the game is a PvE first game. Now, before you as a PvP player think, oh, well, then I don't care for the game, man. I'm just going back to Rust. This is not really what I wanted. Well, let me tell you that the developers love Rust. Jeff Kaplan, which is the lead, has thousands and thousands of hours. I think he said he has over 5,000 hours in Rust, and he absolutely loves the game to death. So there will be quite a bit of influence of Rust in The Legend of California, and they have special ways to handle this. So let's start at the beginning. You will have to participate in PvE, and around 80% of the map or more will be PvE focus. Yes, they said that the map will have 15 to 20% PvE zones. It varies a little bit because the PvE zones are randomized, right? They will not be at the same place, at the same size on every server. They are randomized, so it varies. But between 15 and 20% is what you get. So, how do those PvP zones work? Well, when you are entering a PvP zone, you have about 5 seconds before you are getting marked, and then everything you obtain in the PvP zone will be marked as lawless. And of course, you will be lawless yourself, so people can kill you. So, what does that exactly mean? Well, think about it like the Division Dark Zone, right? You are going into the zone, you're doing your stuff there, and everything you acquire, you will lose when you die. If you're getting killed in the PvP zone, all your lawless items, no matter what, will be dropped. And yes, that goes even so far that some of the resources you have acquired, like logs or iron or something like that, will be dropped on the ground and can be looted by other players. But if you should manage to get out of the PvP zone with your loot, you will be unmarked, and of course your items will also not be lawless anymore. So this is very much like the extraction in, let's say, the Dark Zone in the Division. And then afterwards, you cannot drop those items anymore. So you only have a chance to take items from the players when they are in the PvP zone. And as I said before, those only count for the lawless items. You will not lose your equipment, you will not lose any of the items you brought with you, but only the items you have acquired there. And you might think, Mo, okay, but there should be something more. Oh, there is. There is actually a very interesting mechanic which is carrying over between PvP and PvE, and that is the contraband mechanic. Contraband is a currency. Like in every game, you will have multiple currencies on your character, but normally like money, which is going into the currency tab and cannot be stolen from you, the contraband can. It will be an item in your inventory and it's still considered a currency, but it will never be transformed into the currency tab. So even if you were leaving the PvP zone, you still have contraband on you. And that means if you are entering the PvP zone at some point with the contraband again, and you die, you will lose said contraband. Wait, why should I even go back with the contraband in the PvP zone? Because there is a PvP merchant. And the PvP merchant is switching position every 24 hours, like real life 24 hours. By the way, the PvP merchant is called Abigail. And Abigail will, as I said, switch positions every 24 hours, and you have to find them. You do not know where Abigail is right now. Of course, you can ask in chat, but that probably means that a lot of people now know that you will look for the PvP merchant, and you might actually have quite a bit of contraband with you. Because, as I said, the contraband is not disappearing. And when you are going back into the PvP zone, and let's say you are getting murdered there, you will lose the contraband and people can just loot it. So that is a thing which is always staying with you all the time, no matter if you are going into a PvE or PvP zone, and you can always loot it and lose it afterwards. So there will probably be quite a bit of people hanging around the PvP merchant and will just wait for people to come there and turn it in. But wait, why should I really do PvP? Is there anything special there? Well, of course, there's the opportunity to best other players, but no, all the items you can get in a PvE zone, you can get in a PvP zone, and vice versa. There is nothing super special about it. What is special is that the contraband can give you some very rare items very quickly, right? While you're in the PvE zone, you have to get the blueprints, you have to get the items to build something, and then you have to craft the whole thing, and that can take a while. While in the PvP zone, you can literally just ride up to the merchant and say, oh, is that the second best rifle in the game this early? I have the contraband. Hell yeah, let's buy it, right? So you will be able to get some of the equipment a little bit faster in the PvP zone, but that's it. You are still getting the same stuff there. And yes, there will be PvE events. Speaking about PvE events, there will be sometimes world events in the game which are PvP focused. And yes, they can pop up in a PvE zone. Okay, Mo, that sounds pretty nice, but I will be honest here with you. Where's the full PvP experience? I want to murder everyone on the map. I want to raid their bases. I want to have just a Rust experience in this game. Well, then I have some good news for you. Right now, it's not in the game. But the developers are very much aware that people want this. And when people have their own servers, or if they decide that there are a lot of people who want this, they can just spin up official servers, which give you exactly that, where 50% of the map, 80% of the map, or even 100% of the map is a full-blown PvP zone, and you can attack each other at every given point. There will be some limitations here, though, because the reason for that is they haven't really tested PvP yet because they didn't have the players, right? And there are also limitations in the gameplay with the wrench. The wrench is your claim. You can claim in the world, right? You put it down, and then in that area, you can just build. People will not be able to attack that. You will also not be able to put it in a PvP zone. It's not possible, right? So when you are deciding, let's say at some point, that there is a server with 100% PvP, your wrench would still be safe. The reason for that is pretty simple. They do not have any mechanics in the game right now, which basically prevents theft. People can just stroll up to your ranch in PvP, or could just go up there, right, and just take everything from you. There is no protection. There are not any locks in the game. You cannot really like lock down your doors. You cannot lock up your chests, and they could just walk up and destroy everything without any effort, really. And those mechanics have to be implemented first. So unfortunately for the alpha, you have to go with the standard PvP zones, but they have already promised that they're working on it, and they are looking what they can improve for the beta. And then, of course, for the early access version of the game, they will listen to PvP players and what they want as well. But they are starting out with a full-blown PvE game, and PvP will have to wait a little bit more. But they have already talked about things like attacking stagecoaches, having maybe much later, it's not in the game yet, but much later in the game, having trains, having those trains going through PvP zones, and this is where you could attack those trains and all that. Like, they do have ideas. The reality, though, is it's a small team. They have worked on the PvE part first, and now they also need feedback from the PvP players, because they admit the highest amount of people they ever had on the server so far was around 100 people. That's the maximum amount of players they had playing the game. And most of those players have never participated in any shape or form in PvP. So, yeah, they need the feedback. They need to know what the people want, right? And this is what they are starting to gathering now. But it seems like they're very thrilled for PvP, and they definitely want to also make this a part of the Legend of California. And I am looking forward to it. With that said, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to check if you might got an invite to the Legend of California Alpha. Keep in mind, it will be very limited. They have already said they have far too many people who want to participate in the Alpha, and they will not be able to accommodate everyone. But also, please don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, to leave a like. And also, if you're new to the channel, you want to see more The Legend of California content, don't forget to subscribe if you will be so inclined. With that said, thanks so much for watching, stay safe, and I'll see you next time.